Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz. It is May 10, 2017 at 10:09 p.m. in Birmingham. And topic is about the trumpets and meeting with Abbas and Trump. I'm going to give you 5 minutes of that. But let me tell you about the trumpets. Everybody is hearing that the trumpets in the Bible are the ones that will call for the rapture of the church. That's not true. Number one, each trumpet, each seal, each vial, the first announces the coming of the next six, or rather the final. Say if you have 7 trumpets, the last trumpet announces the coming of the next 7. And then the last of that 7 announces the coming of the next 7. And as I said many times, I still believe included will be 7 thunders. No one knows what that is. But let me tell you right now, and I'll give you the end of this in a day or two, and you'll not want to miss the end of this. On Prophecy Update, trumpets. Number 1 is aimed at earth. 1/3 of the trees and 1/3 of the grass dies. Number 2, aimed at the sea. 1/3 of all in it will die. Number 3 is aimed at the waters. 1/3 of all waters turns to wormwood, turns to poison. It's bitter and it kills. And number 4 is aimed at the sun, the moons, and the stars. And then 1/3 of the day will be darkened. Keep in mind, all these mention 1/3. God is imposing this judgment upon 1/3 of the earth. There's 2/3 of the earth that'll be able to escape these things. Not all of them. Judgment will hit everyone, but not all judgments hit everyone. So plan on 1/3 of the earth being judged in this manner. Now, I always say this too, for Christians, and me included, whatever you do, try not to be caught embarrassed. That is a trump, okay? Not Donald, no. This is Trump. There will be a sound that'll call Christians up to meet Jesus in the clouds. This is not the trumpets. This is a different one. This is not in that 7. The next 3 of that 7, they're going to, number 5 and 6, they're going to talk about just who are the aliens and what are they going to do. This is why I'm saying you'll not want to miss that. That's going to come up maybe as early as tomorrow night, but most likely it'll be on the 12th. But I'm just giving you a heads up. But I've got more to say here when I say don't be caught embarrassed. People will be raptured during a sin because we all continue to sin. Whether we try our best not to, we're still sinning. Our best deeds are rags according to God. But we don't want to be doing it purposely as a saved person, and because you may lose your salvation. I mean, meaning were you ever really saved? But what I'm saying is some will be in a sexual position. You know, somebody will be caught off guard and let their guard down, and then they're going up messing around with someone else, and you'll be called home. Some will be on drugs, and it's a very hard habit to kick, as we all know. They'll be called home. You know, doesn't mean that they're not saved. Some will be stealing during the time of the rapture. Some will be hurting people. Some will be in the process of robbing someone, maybe even killing someone. And not to leave out those who attack and lie about Donald Trump, our president. God gave us by our prayers. 2 Chronicles 7:14. Now, with this in mind, let's go right here quickly to a meeting that Donald Trump had with Abbas. And this is Pastor J.D. Farg, F-A-R-A-G, and Prophecy Update videos. And listen to what he says about the meeting between Trump and Abbas that just took place. Now, the reason this past blog that I just posted is late because my computer shut down last night. My internet did for some reason, right in the middle of trying to post it. So it shut down, and I couldn't get it on for the next 3 hours, so I went to bed. And of course, that was at 2 a.m. when I went to bed. But so now, where I'm going is the recent meeting between Trump and Abbas. Hear the truth. Hear the truth of what Abbas really means. And this is with every peace plan, starting with that Yasser Arafat guy saying this and then turning around and saying, well, I really mean just us. We don't want peace for both of us, but I won't screw that up anymore. Listen to this, Pastor J.D. Farg, and it's 5 minutes, but it's worth every second of it. Here we go.
That there were some very significant developments prophetically that took place last week. And I want to start with the meeting between President Trump and Mahmoud Abbas at the White House. The full text of the statements made by both. First, Trump, quote, Mr. President, speaking of Abbas, you signed your name to the first Israeli-Palestinian peace agreement, and I want to support you in being the Palestinian leader who signs his name to the, interesting, final and most important peace agreement that brings safety, stability, and prosperity, peace and security, to both sides and to the region. And I will do whatever is necessary to facilitate the agreement, to mediate, to arbitrate anything they'd like to do. And then Trump says this, quote, and we will get this done. Okay, all right. We want to create peace between Israel and the Palestinians. We will get it done. We will be working so hard to get it done. It's been a long time, but we will be working diligently, and I think there's a very, very good chance, and I think you, speaking to Abbas, feel the same way. Okay. Abbas, quote, Mr. President, our strategic option, our strategic choice is to bring about peace. Sorry. You have to understand that that Abbas and certainly Arafat before him, when they would come to the United States, would say, we want peace with Israel. But then they would go right back to Ramallah and in Arabic say, peace for us means the destruction of Israel. You have to understand that Muhammad and Saladin after him would say that you make peace with your enemy, then you destroy him. And again, this is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. While they are saying peace and security, sudden destruction comes upon them as a woman travailing in labor. And this is replete throughout this press conference between Abbas and Trump, and you're going to hear it again and again. Our strategic choice is to bring about peace based on the vision of the two states. A Palestinian state with its capital of East Jerusalem that lives, and here it is, in peace and stability, peace and security, with the state of Israel based on the borders of 1967. Then, it gets better. After stating that the Islamic State has nothing to do with the noble religion of Islam, Abbas went on to say, Mr. President, we believe that we are capable and able to bring about success to our efforts because, Mr. President, you have the determination and you have the desire to see it come to fruition and to become successful. And we, Mr. President, inshallah, which in Arabic means Allah willing, don't say God. Well, come on, Pastor. That Allah is just the Arabic word for God. No, it's not. It's not the title, it's the name. And what we just talked about, the name being the nature. Allah is the moon god. It is a false god. And Muhammad, a false prophet. And Islam, a false religion. Please know that. Please know that. Inshallah. We are coming into a new opportunity, keyword, new horizon that would enable us to bring about peace in that regard. Mr. President, it's about time, get this, for Israel to end its occupation of our people, of our land after 50 years. He said it just like that, too. We are the only remaining people in the world that still live under occupation. Really? This is what is known as a lie. Okay?
There you go. And dead on, it's a lie. I mean, it's 100%. I have been saying for years and years that Islam is a false religion, and my prayers mention that. Those who are subject and hurt by this false religion, meaning the women and the children mostly, the wives and the daughters of these evil people who come home from church and decide to beat up on their wife. Allah, as I've always said, is a moon god. He's a moon rock, nothing more. If anything, he's a Elohim, a God with a little g. But it's not even that, because he doesn't sit on the council. And Muhammad, the false prophet. I've always said this. And when you hear that Abbas said, we are not Islam, and then when you hear that we're going back to 1967 borders, scratch that one off too. That's not going to happen. So if you were to hear Donald Trump say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sign a 7-year peace treaty. Guys, if you hear that, you better turn around and look up really quick because you're going home. However, it is not Trump that's going to do that. He may set up a peace treaty that'll fail. All of them have failed. So finally, someone will step up and will offer a 7-year treaty. We will not know his name. We will leave before we hear those words. Jody Wolf, Expoz.